everyone, welcome back to Rebecca's Colour Alongs Arts and Crafts. So just for notice, I'll shift those, that's just some notes I've made on the current review that I'm going to be doing here. But just for notice, I will be coming back with more of the colouring stuff. I've been really busy the past few weeks, so I haven't gotten as much up as I want to, but I'm planning on getting back to that now. I'm hoping I can get back to it. I really want to. But I have still been working on review books whilst I was busy in that time. So this is going to be a review of The New Girl by Ingrid Alexandra. This was sent to me by HarperCollins in exchange for a review. I am going to say now I am not going to be giving this a star rating because I'm still not totally sure how I feel about it. I enjoyed it, but it isn't the most, shall we say, comfortable or I'm just looking at my notes quickly, comfortable story to read for me because of the fact it is a bit disturbing, it's confronting, and it does go on about like abuse in relationships, and I'm going to try and keep this as spoiler free as possible, but it goes on about abuse and like what is it? Sorry, I just have to look at my notes because I recorded this when I was but decided I didn't want that version. So it goes also like physical abuse, psychological abuse, so like bullying, like making you feel like you aren't who you are and things like that, and having experienced those things, it was kind of confronting to me. I did enjoy the book. I did find that I didn't want to put it down. I read this book in 2 days after I received it. I really did enjoy the storyline. It's set in Sydney, Australia, and our main character is Mary / Sophia, who basically, I'm just going to say this and not spoil it, but she basically has, like, shall we say, 2 different personalities. So it was called dissociative identity disorders, and so she has a different disorder, and it's about her sort of dealing with that, as well as her friendships, her relationships. So she's got her Auntie Anne, Kat, her best friend from ages, whom she really hasn't been that nice or that great to. Ben, who's someone she cares about but that lives in the same apartment as them, and Rachel, the new girl, who sort of knows about her past and her history, but she doesn't exactly let on about that straight away, kind of thing. But it was a very interesting read, and I really don't feel I can rate it because of how sort of conflicted I am. My mum suggested maybe you should put it down and not keep reading it, but I had to know what was happening. So it was a very gripping story. It did get you involved in the story. It did catch your attention and get you involved with the characters. It is a psychological thriller, and it actually is quite good in that aspect. From what I know, this is Ingrid Alexandra's first book, and I did really enjoy it, but for me, going with my past history, it kind of was uncomfortable for me, and for anyone who sort of is uncomfortable with those aspects, it would probably be uncomfortable for you too. I probably would read this book again, even though it was uncomfortable for me, because I really did enjoy it. I did find myself crying and upset at times whilst reading it, and that was partly also because I was in a sort of downer mood when I started reading this, so that didn't help. But it was also just to do with how involved I got with the story. And there were times I loved what was going on in it, times when I was uncomfortable, times when I didn't know how I felt about what was going on and what I thought was going on. I did love how Ingrid Alexandra brought the characters together and brought the stories in together, and how it all tied up at the end. It was a very good book in those aspects. I wrote a lot of notes here and I'm kind of just dropped them. Oh well. But yeah, so just to give you an idea, the back of the book says, "A new start, a new friend, but old habits die hard." When Rachel moves into the spare room in Mary's flat in Sydney, everyone is quick to jump to the conclusion that there's something strange about her, everyone apart from Mary. And when Rachel starts sleepwalking, the flatmates' fears grow. But there's something about the new girl that Mary can't help but trust, and having recently escaped a toxic relationship, she needs the support. Rachel becomes a friend and an ally, and Mary soon discovers that they have more in common than she ever could have imagined. In fact, Rachel seems to know more about Mary than she knows about herself. So, going by that description, I didn't expect all of the storyline that was involved in here. It kind of took me by surprise, and I would definitely recommend going into this without much knowledge, which is why I'm going to keep this spoiler free and we'll finish this up soon. But I did find it was a very interesting story, and I'm still thinking about it, and I'm not sure which way. I didn't dislike it, no, not by any means. I really did enjoy it, but I just feel, for me personally, I can't rate it because it kind of did hit on some sensitive areas for me. Like, not everything that goes on in here is sensitive in my life, but there are things there that I have experienced and I wouldn't wish on anyone. But yeah, if you really enjoy sort of psychological thrillers and things with abuse, murder, all of those aspects, I would definitely recommend this for you. If you aren't comfortable but want to try aren't comfortable with those aspects but want to try some new things, I would also recommend it. Like, even though it is kind of uncomfortable and close to me in some of the aspects of things that have happened and things that have gone on, at the same time, I'm really glad that I read it. I feel that in some ways, for me, reading these books does help me to move forwards a bit with my life in those aspects. But yeah, I'm not really sure much else to say. I can't remember everything I mentioned on the previous video that I recorded, but I decided to do it again because I decided I didn't necessarily want that video. So I really hope you've enjoyed this book review. If you decide to pick it up, I hope you've enjoyed it too. Thanks again to HarperCollins Australia for providing me with this review copy. I'm really happy to have it, and I probably would read it again, but probably more when I'm less down in the dumps and when I'm in the mood. Like, I was in the mood to start this one, but I didn't realise the content that was involved in it, and I'm kind of glad that I went into it not knowing the content. Like, the storyline was intriguing to me. I do love thriller books. I love knowing those sorts of things, and I think I would read it again, but it would depend on my mood as to when I read it again. So yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed this, and I will see you later. If you did enjoy this, please leave a like, subscribe and comment. I love hearing from you, and yeah, I will see you later. Bye!